was a good friend of both Monica's and I's, and the last time we saw them was on their trip through a long road trip to their new home. And, we just had the ideal last day together with Meg. We had just a beautiful dinner together, and then spent the whole evening playing music. And this is one of the songs that Meg liked to play. She was learning how to play the guitar quite quickly, it seemed, and so we thought it'd be fitting to play this song in memory of Meg. If you know it, please sing along. Head down south to the land of the pines, coming on the way up to North Carolina, staring down the road and praying that I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, and I'm a-picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm a-hoping for Riley can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Running from the cold up in New England, I was born to be a fiddler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, I play the banjo now. Well, I know country winners kept getting me. I lost my money playing poker, so I had to leave. But I ain't a turning back to that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. I caught a trucker out in Philly, had a nice long tow. But he's a-heading west for the Cumberland Gap, Johnson City, Tennessee. I gotta get a move on before the sun. I hear my baby calling my name, and I know that she's the only one. If I die in Raleigh, at least I will die free. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me.
to the lovely, loving fold of the white fish. This glacier, everything. I have 2 poems to share with you. And I'd like to say that this is the first time I've strayed away from the prophet to read a memorial service. And somehow I find that very appropriate that Meg was the one to bring me to read Mary Oliver. We have read any of her poetry or prose. She's a wonderful writer. And she grasps and uses the physical world in a way that's deeply spiritual and touching. And I find that especially appropriate to use a memorial service for me because of her interests, her background, and who she was. Though she was not a dog lover per se, I think that Percy, Mary Oliver's dog, would be very proud of Meg. And so the first song I read is called Percy Number 10 because Mary Oliver wrote many poems about her dog Percy. I asked Percy how I should listen. Love, 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 says Percy, and run as fast as you can. Along the shiny beach, or the rubble, or the dust. Then, go to sleep. Give up your body heat, your beating heart, and then trust. The next point is a wee bit long, slightly philosophical. So, have patience. It's called Bone. Understand, I am always trying to figure out what the soul is, and where hidden, and what shape. And so last week, when I found on the beach the ear bone of a pilot whale that may have died hundreds of years ago, I thought maybe I was close to discovering something. For the ear bone is the portion that lasts the longest in any of us, man or whale, shaped like a swat spoon with a pink scoop, where once, in the lively swimmer's head, it joined its 2 sisters in the house of hearing. It was only 2 inches long, and I thought, the soul might be like this. So hard, so necessary. Yet almost nothing beside me. The gray sea was opening and shutting its great doors, unfolding over and over, its time ridiculing war. I looked, but I couldn't see anything, though its dark mimic glare. Yet, don't we all know the golden sand is there at the bottom, though our eyes have never seen it, nor can our hands ever catch it? Least we would sift it down into fractions and facts and certainties. And what the soul is also. I believe I will never quite know. Though I play at the edges of knowing, though I know our part is really not knowing, but looking and touching and loving, which is the way I walked on softly through the pale pink. I believe in the soul, and I believe in life energy, and I so believe in Meg's soul, and I so believe in her life energy, and I invite all of you always to feel her in the wild places and on the river, to reach out and touch her because she will be there, I know, to touch you, always.
So my name is Brooke Edwards, and I was in Peace Corps in West Africa with Meg starting 15 years ago. And like Liz, became fast and furious friends ever since. She was my closest English-speaking neighbor, and we did a lot of motorcycle riding and mountain biking through the sand and helping each other through really tough times, living in the poorest country on earth together. And the friendship that we built there brought us back to here, and we continued to have adventures together in Montana, in Alaska, in so many different wilds, in so many different ways. And Liz, I was listening to what you had to say about being her childhood friend and what everybody has said so far, and a couple things keep coming to my mind. Is one thing, how many pieces of my life Meg was an instrumental part of setting the ball rolling in and starting to teach me down that path. And my mom always told me that any friend that I lost in my life, that I would, if I could just find one thing about that person that I loved the most in them, and carry that within myself, that if everyone does that who knows Meg, that in that way she lives on, not just through the wild places that Kim spoke of, but also through each and every one of us. And so the piece that I'm choosing, of all the pieces that she taught me, is something we learned together in Africa. And in Africa we were blown away with laughter. And here we were on the poorest country on the planet, and they dealt with death on a daily basis. And both Meg and I watched people very close to us in our villages, and indeed she did have a dog and dealt with the death of that dog in that village. And we watched death every day, and we were dumbfounded with how these people who were struggling so hard to live and watching their children die and their best friends die and their parents die all around them kept finding a way to laugh as they provided for themselves, and kept finding all these different ways to put laughter into their daily music of daily life. And I remember both Meg and I's affirmations to each other was that let's commit to always finding laughter and always living very present in the moment, because we have to appreciate every day. And she did that, and I feel like, wow, is she a shooting star, and how lucky are all of we, to have had that shooting star, and we can all take a piece of her light with us. And so in that finding ways to laugh, we would have these really long, hot, painful bush taxi rides where there would be 28 to 30 people and goats and chickens and their babies peeing on your back shoved into a Toyota minivan that should hold 11 people. And to not go insane for 13 hours on the road, we made lots of jokes and helped each other laugh. And the other thing that she did is she started to recite Gary Snyder poetry to me, and that was how we kept our sanity and we kept our patience. And so she gave me this book, Turtle Island. And the 3 poems I want to read you today are ones that I've heard her say so many times over the years, just from memory. As you know, she was brilliant on hikes and bush taxi rides, sitting around a campfire. And it's amazing to go back through and read them now, because it's like she handed me this gift that come her passing would be like, here's your tools. These have words in them that I never even saw until right now. That she was, something in her soul knew she was giving me this to help me through. So I hope in that way the words will also help you. And the first one is called Without. The silence of nature within. The power within, the power without. The path is whatever passes, no end in itself. The end is grace, ease, healing, not saving, singing, the proof of the power within. And I think she's calling on us all to see that singing together and that power within. To me, this one really captures how she always felt so powerfully about wilderness. It's called Fraser Creek Falls. Standing up on lifted, folded rock, looking out and down, the creek falls to a far valley. Hills beyond that facing half-forested, dry, clear sky, strong wind and the stiff, glittering needle clusters of the pine. Their brown, round trunk bodies straight, still. Rustling, trembling limbs and twigs. Listen. This living, flowing land is all there is, forever. We are it. It sings through us. We could live on this earth without clothes or tools. And the last one I save for last, because I believe that the last words are good ones to live by, and I feel her leaving us this message. called bedrock. Snowmelt pond, warm granite. We make camp. No thought of finding more. And nap and leave our minds to the wind. On the bedrock, gently tilting sky and stone, teach me to be tender. The touch that nearly misses, brush of glances, tiny steps that finally cover worlds of hard terrain. Cloud wisps and mists, gathered into slate blue bolts of summer rain. Tea together in the purple starry eve. New moon, soon to set. Why does it take so long to learn to love? We laugh